Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for this week's Succeed Without Selling Salon. I am thrilled to be joined by my friend, Michael Haynes. He has been gracious enough to join me here to talk about needing to have a sales plan, a strategy, because, these are weird times and some of us may have fallen out of our mojo, with our sales process. So, Michael, welcome to the salon. Will you
Thank you for
tell
having me,
people
Jen.
about you quickly?
So very quickly, my name is Michael Haynes. I am a business-to-business customer and marketing strategy advisor working with SMBs, particularly a lot of your service-based SMBs, your professional services, technology companies, financial services companies, all about helping them with the acquiring, retaining those business clients and customers and driving business growth through their business.
Awesome. Thank you. And Michael was a guest on my podcast a while ago. Pardon me?
2018.
Oh, is that what it was? See,
Yeah.
we're going to have to do it again. So let's talk about sales systems and what in your frame of mind, what do you think people need to be doing, especially with what's going on now, or there are things that they shouldn't be doing? What's your take?
Sure, Diane. So my take right now is that really, the past 4 to 6 months have been quite horrific for all of us. Trying to navigate what's been going on and all of that. But now it's really a time now that we're starting to kind of move into the new normal or next normal, as it's called. We really now need to be starting to be thinking about how you're going to take your businesses forward. What are the things that you need to be doing? And given that, we're basically about a week away from September, we're getting into the tail end of 2020, really need to be starting what we're going to do for the balance of the year and really 2021 when we're going to be in this new norm. So one of the first things I think you really need to be doing is really first talking to your current clients and customers to really understand for those business clients and customers, where are they at today right now? What are their needs, priorities, and challenges? You really need to get a good grasp on that. And it doesn't matter if you've had discussions back in January, February, even March. It's really to find out as they are now at the end of August, where they're at, where they're looking to go. And so talking to some of your key clients and customers and maybe even some of those key prospects that you had on your radar as well that you want to get, so that you can get really an understanding of in terms of where your business is at. What are the things that you're going to need to be doing that you may need to be changing in terms around your products, your service offerings? It could be around your service and support in terms of how you market to them, how you're engaging with those customers. So it's very important that you really get an understanding right now where they're at, where they're going, so that you can then make the necessary modifications in your business moving forward and to start making some of those plans as to what you need to be doing and where you need to prioritize.
So I love that. And I have a lot of people say to me, do you think now it's okay to start talking to people? Like at the beginning, they were afraid to really reach out. They didn't want to bother people. They didn't want to sell. It was a whole thing. And I agree with you. I mean, I think, getting out there, talking to people, finding out what's going on with them, there's no time like now.
Diane, you're absolutely right. There's no time right now. And the bottom line is we as, SMBs, as business owners, as entrepreneurs, the world is going on. Business, the world is not stopping. The various governments in different parts of the world have been having their various government programs. I believe in the US, it's been the PPP, I think it's been called. Here in Australia, it's been JobKeeper, Job Seeker. Canada has their program. But all of those things, we can't rely on them as business owners. Economies have to move forward. Our businesses have to move forward. So you need to be planning and understanding right now what it is you need to be doing moving forward. And the fact of the matter is, and I've been really monitoring the SMB space really globally, is that a lot of businesses are really already starting to be thinking about what do they need to be doing to moving forward. Because we all need to generate revenues. We need to be looking after our clients, getting new clients. So now's the time to be taking action, and you do need to be starting to think about the end of the year 2021. But you're going to have to be a bit more flexible and adaptable as you move forward. So you need to have that overarching plan, but you're going to have to be flexible and adaptable as we're moving through this COVID and markets are restarting and you're dealing with some of those external factors.
Yeah, I love the whole flexibility idea. And I think that's one of the things that small business owners have an advantage, right? This is an advantage for us because we're small, right?
Yeah.
We can weave and groove and all of those things where, big companies, not so much. It's a little harder for them to make changes.
Yes, that flexibility and adaptability is quite important, and that's really going to have to be the way that you're going to have to move moving forward. So you definitely want to have a view as to where it is that you want to be going in, let's say, the next 12 to 15 months, because given what we're going through, I don't think you want to be looking too much ahead than that, but you definitely want to have a view of what's your overarching plan, but then you need to be flexible and adaptable as there are different changes in your industries, within your geographic markets. So I'm a big proponent of, developing that overarching plan for the next 12 months. But, every 90 days, every quarter, you have what I call the review and reset, where you're looking to see, you get your teams together, your marketing, your sales, your product teams, customer service, and you see what's happening with your clients, what's happening in your industry and your markets. Okay, that overarching plan, those key priorities that you've set, are we still on track? Do we need to be modifying things based on what's happened with some of our key clients, what's happening within our markets? And so you're making those adjustments as you go along. So it's having a plan, but being very flexible and iterative as you go along. I think that's really going to be the new way of business planning and also really selling and executing now moving forward.
Okay, so one of the things that I've been really interested in is how some businesses have expanded their offerings because of things that have come out of COVID, that keep sort of popping up and coming out. And it seems to me that reaching out like to past prospects to see where are they now might not be a bad idea. So, talking to your clients and finding out what's going on with them. I love this whole concept, but who else do you think small business owners could be talking to right now to get the lay of the land and maybe find opportunities?
So sure. So Diane, I think, so first off, it's talking to some of your current clients that you have now currently, some of your key prospects, some of your previous clients as well. But in addition to that, you need to be really what I call, listening to the market. So, getting in touch with your industry associations, for example, what's going on there. Given the environment that we're in, there are lots of virtual events and webinars. So tapping into those that pertain to your clients and customers, pertaining to your industries that either you're currently operating or you're thinking of operating into, and sitting in on some of those live Q&As such as this, these virtual events, to get an understanding of what's going on, where are some of the opportunities. I think these are the kinds of listening activities that you need to be doing. Be on the lookout for relevant industry white papers and reports, because there are lots of reports now very timely coming out about what's going across different industries, different vertical markets, different sectors, and having a look at those reports, seeing where are the opportunities, what are some of the behaviors of customers, where you might get some ideas as to potential opportunities for new markets and or potential new offerings. So current customers and prospects, tapping into your industry associations, I would say would be some good places to really start to really see what's going on and where the opportunities possibly might be.
So you made me think of something. And earlier when you said, in the U.S., here in the U.S. we have this, there in Australia you have that, and it made me think about not just trade associations, but local chambers. What is going on in your area, but also what is going on around the world, because there could be new opportunities in other regions that maybe people weren't thinking about before because they were so focused on doing business locally.
Yes, you're absolutely right, Dan. And particularly when you're talking, particularly on this, on many services side, particularly if you're looking at professional service organizations as your, let's say, architecture, engineering, construction, design, technology companies, where you can be location agnostic. There are lots of opportunities now because more and more business is being done online, and we've seen over the past 4 to 6 months that actually you can do a lot on the likes of your Zoom and etc. That you can be doing a lot of your workshops, your service delivery and support remotely. So you definitely want to be looking, if that's feasible, definitely looking at opportunities globally. And again, that's where your industry associations, the virtual events, doing some online research, tapping into your colleagues, leveraging the likes of LinkedIn, definitely will help you get a nice sense of where are some of those opportunities that may be internationally as well.
Are there any methods for doing outreach that you would advise people not use, or not as like the first attempt? Or do you think it doesn't matter? They can email, they can call, they can Zoom, they can do.
Diane, I'm a big believer that you've got to give value before you can get value. So even if you want, because in this environment, everyone wants to have, let's just have a 10-minute Zoom call. You have to demonstrate what's in it for them. Talking from a business buyer perspective, if you're targeting business buyers, we're all being inundated. I myself, get lots of emails every day from various service providers. So you really have to do your research and really know who you're targeting in terms of your ideal, your target clients and customers, and you want to provide them some kinds of information of value to them first before you make that initial outreach. So I think it's about really trying to understand what are those pain points, what are those hot buttons of what they're interested in at this point in time, and then you might be leveraging the likes of LinkedIn and putting content out there which is visible to them. If you've got specific prospects, then you might want to send them the white paper, a case study, an excerpt from an article or a video, perhaps sending it to that person first and saying, you're the IT company and I understand, you're having issues with respect to, let's say, cost reduction and efficiency. Here's this white paper. Sending that first and then doing the follow-up call, because there has to be a reason for me to want to engage with you. Even if it's that 10-minute Zoom call, you've got to give value before you can get value.
I'm so glad that you said that. It is so true. And I think so many salespeople are in this mindset that if they just, check these boxes and they just do these things, that they can keep working their way toward a sale. And that from a time commitment standpoint, there really isn't a huge one, but there really is. Like, you really have to be all in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
because otherwise no one cares.
Yeah, and it often will take a number of steps, a number of interactions. So it's going to be about providing and demonstrating that bit of value, which is why being proactive in terms of, getting your content out there, visible where your clients and customers are, being it, your articles, blogs, on your website, leveraging LinkedIn, your relevant industry professional associations, collaborating with some of your potential partners. So, if you're the IT firm, you might want to join forces, let's say, with the marketing agency where you have a similar customer base, where you can tap into those potential customers. And again, giving value. Everyone, business buyers, business customers are looking for information and advice as to what to do, how to navigate, what do I need to be focusing on in 2021. So where you can give tips of information and guidance of what they need to do, or enlightening them to new opportunities. Those are the kinds of things that you want to be putting out there proactively, and then look to have that outreach and then that engagement. But it often is going to take a number of steps now, because the market is crowded, because there's a lot of people and everyone's doing it. So it has to be a constant effort, and trying different channels as well.
Oh, I like trying different channels. I think that is great. Now, you have a program coming up, helping people, figure all this stuff out and get themselves set. Is that right? Am I remembering?
Yeah. So I'm just launching my executive coaching program, which is called Refocus, Reignite, and Rise. So it's aimed at working with SMB, your CEOs, and their leadership teams. So it's a 12-month program, and it has 2 components. So the first component is a 90-day strategy and action planning intensive, is what I call it, where we're looking to really gain an understanding of who your target clients and customers need to be, identifying what are some of those opportunities that you want to be looking at the short term and the longer term, and then looking at how you're going to, gain that growth and sustainability. So that's kind of 90 days of action planning to set what's the overarching plan for your business, and that's very customized based on your priorities and who you're going after. And then there's the 9 months of implementation support, because my view is anyone can write a strategy and action plan, but it's having that 9 months of support where we're going to have monthly check-ins to see how you're progressing on some of the key priorities we've identified, having 90 days review and reset. So, meeting with the CEO of that SMB, but also their marketing, sales, and client delivery team, and seeing, well, how are you going? What's been happening in those 90 days previously? Are those implications for moving forward? And then there will also be as well mastermind events where we'll be bringing in colleagues, subject matter specialists, so that they can be interacting with their colleagues, but also learning from subject matter experts on different elements of business. So much of it pertaining to B2B, but also other elements of business that they need to be aware of.
Got it. Boy, it sounds really great. And I love how you've got the implementation part of it, the coaching and the implementation part of it, because you're right. People do this stuff, they get all excited, and then they go back into their world. Doesn't happen.
Yes, because it's really around that implementation, to making sure that you've got the right activities and priorities you're focusing on, and getting help with how you're going to be execution. And again, around that, reviewing, resetting, and modifying to making sure those adjustments are being made, because we're on a very bumpy, rocky road here. In this, next norm that we're in. So to making sure that you're doing the right things to still be, progressing and moving forward, but adapting to your particular environment that you're dealing with.
Yeah, boy, like now there is no better time in the world for needing that flexibility that we were talking about before, but also having someone go with you and help you navigate that and be able to, bob and weave and change things, because we don't know. Someone said to me, it's everything. Life is always uncertain. There really is nothing that's certain. We're just in a heightened level of uncertainty right now. So.
Yeah, we're in a heightened level, but I think this current situation has kind of brought forward a lot of things that many businesses need to be doing in terms of being a bit more adaptable, looking how they can improve and modify their business in terms of their products and services, potentially their marketing, looking at other ways of collaborating with partners as other means to identify opportunities, grow their business.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's sort of, if you weren't going to do it before, you're forced into it now. You don't really have a choice. So great. Well, Michael, I am so grateful that you joined me here. We were supposed to do this a couple of weeks ago, but I had a family emergency and couldn't do it. So thank you for your flexibility and
my pleasure.
Adjusting. I appreciate it. Folks, you can reach out to Michael at 2excel.com. Is that right, Michael? Do I have that right?
Yeah, they actually can go. They actually really should go to my website, listeninnovategrow.com, and there they will get a lot of tools. There's videos and articles there. There's also a free download that I have as well, Deciphering the Business Buyer, which is a free playbook to help them have those initial discussions with their clients and prospects that really understand where they're at. So yeah, listeninnovategrow.com really is where they should go, and encourage them to take advantage of that free playbook to Deciphering the Business Buyer. There's a banner at the top on the homepage. They can download. It's a short 7-page PDF, but has some key questions and tips on how to prepare for those meetings, key questions to ask, and what are the watch outs to look out for when you're having those initial discussions with business decision makers in this environment, and what they will be expecting from you.
Wow, sounds fabulous. So folks, go get that. So Michael, thank you again.
My pleasure, man.
Yep, thank you. Next week in the salon, I will be joined by Shan Vanderleek, who is going to be talking with me about podcasting. She was supposed to be this week, but then she had a family thing. We're all bobbing and weaving around here. So I appreciate everybody's flexibility as we do this and conquer the world. So have a good one. Be safe, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
Thank you, Diane. Take care. Thanks, everyone.
You too.
Bye.